Welcome, Street Rats, to Night City. I'm the one and only Moxie 11, bringing you slightly biased news footage from the fourth wall. When we check in with Gojira, Wraith heads to Spicy Pete's to think over everything after his loss of Z. Eventually, in the early hours of the morning, he takes a bus to Cammy's, telling her he can't sleep and needs to focus on work. Letting him in, the two chat on the balcony where Wraith updates her and explains the situation of either betraying a friend or the friend of a friend. He's still pretty closed up about things, and Cammy pushes until he finally opens up to her, prompting a rather startling revelation from Cammy. She explains her mother was a mule for the Valentinos and reached a point where she had to sell her children. Cammy was adopted by a corp family and eventually came back to her mom only to learn she washed out. In the end, Cammy tells Wraith he can have a new family. On the topic of such, Wraith tells her about Kenna, and Cammy gets upset for being on the outside due to her recovery, saying we all need to get together now. She wakes up Cass and they call me, but it's early, I've had 3 hours of sleep and not in the mood to travel, so I chat with them over my agent. Talk as covertly as we can in case the eyes has bugged on my phone, hoping Swag can use the Faraday cage. Wraith spends the day with Cammy, the two run errands collecting Z's bike, a couple burner phones, ammo, and finally they check in on Frank's, which is still boarded up with police tape. Bullets in hand, they make their way over to see me, and I'm not as grumpy as I was, given that I've gotten more sleep. We talk briefly about taking over the Nook under Gojira turf, but for now, Wraith leaves to handle more personal matters, and Cammy and I make our way to see Swag. At a Scanity, Swag looks me over and sure enough, my agent is bugged. He says he can attempt to remove it, but just in case, I make sure to grab all my contacts off, putting them on the burner phone before handing it over. A good thing too, as Swag sets off the anti-tampering on the bug, melting my phone and the cage all in one go. Cammy is less than impressed, and Swag covers saying he can get a new cage in a few days, or build one if he has the materials. Quick shift in conversation to Jenny, Swag informs us of the name of the artist in the area is called Nosferatu, and he can arrange a meeting under the guise of commission work, but he doesn't think it's a good idea. We say we'll let him know before I call Colt asking him to look for the metal for a new Faraday cage. Cammy texts the boys to meet back at her place, and Rex calls Cass to say he has a job for us, but it's not something that needs to be done quickly. To watch the story unfold live, tune into Saves vs Death every Saturday at 10 PM Eastern at twitch.tv/savesvsdeath. If you can't watch live, be sure to subscribe to the Saves vs Death channel on YouTube so you can watch it as soon as the recording is released, or download it as a podcast. Stay safe, Cyberpunks. This has been your Night City recap with Moxie 11.